Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. You did something a little different this weekend in comparison to what you do on the weekdays. That way you can kind of delineate one from the other. But happy Monday. We are in week 4 of quarantine. We had hoped that we would be back by this Wednesday when we left on March 13th. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like that's happening, or that isn't happening. So we are going to continue to make the best of this e-learning. The majority of you are doing a great job. Remember, if you have questions, you just need to email me and ask me those questions. So once again, work will be posted on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. So make sure you're jumping online and checking those things out. Back to some normal things. I kind of have forgotten some of those things, so I want to get back to as normal as we can. Happy birthday to my March birthdays that I didn't get to say happy birthday to. So to Ronald and Jameis, Dawa, and Alex, happy March birthday. Sorry I missed it. And then happy birthday this past week to Brandon and Garrett and Alexis and Alejandro. And this past Saturday, happy birthday, Kaylee. So guys, hope that your birthday was uniquely memorable. All right, let's get started. So we're going to jump into quarantine week 4. And again, at the top of our folder is our weekly participation points. Little different setup. I have it so that you are submitting a Word document or a sheet. So it is a kind of more traditional bell ringer question, and you probably won't be able to answer that participation points until you watch this lecture today. Okay, it's a short one, so not a ton of your time that you're gonna have to listen to me. All right, so Monday, April 6th, once again, we're still trying to figure out what's the political climate after World War II and understanding the dictators of the Cold War. You should have done Friday's assignment of looking at the Mao Zedong video, the 15-minute video, and taking notes. Many of you have submitted those notes. Thank you very much. Remember, those notes are due on, I believe it's Wednesday night, as a dice assignment. So we'll be rolling the dice on Friday to figure out which one of these assignments we're going to turn in, because you have your notes so far, and then you have the dice assignment for today. So you took those notes. There was a point to taking those notes, and I want to show you what that is. So I took notes too on the Mao Zedong video. And from my notes, so you're going to go right into here. Okay, to get this worksheet, you'll go into click into Monday, and you'll hit this Mao Zedong paragraph. I already have it up, so I'm going to pull this up. So I took notes on the Mao Zedong video. All right, I'm not showing you my notes because you still have a chance to watch that video and get those points. But remember, our notes were focused. We weren't just taking notes on everything that video said. There was a lot of information. We were focusing on trying to take notes to prove this statement wrong. The statement was Mao Zedong was a good and moral leader. So I took notes about how Mao Zedong was not a good and moral leader, because that statement is wrong. And then what I did was I was able to write a paragraph about Mao Zedong. Now, this is the big thing. When I graded your World War II paragraphs for the essay that you guys just recently took, some of you understand how to write for nonfiction purposes, and some of you we need to work on. So that's what we're doing right now. See, a good nonfiction paragraph is going to, first of all, have a topic sentence. You guys often know this as kind of restating the statement that you're answering. So in this case, we're restating the statement, but remember, we're proving it wrong. So my topic sentence is going to be the opposite of this. Maybe something like Mao Zedong was not a good and moral leader. Okay, so we want to have a topic sentence that tells the reader what we're going to talk about in that paragraph. But then we can't just make that topic sentence statement that Mao Zedong was not a good and moral leader. We have to provide evidence, and that's where your notes come in. Your notes are part of your evidence, but we don't need to write all of our notes. We just need to write some of our notes in as evidence. Okay, so let's see what I did here. Chinese Communist leader Mao Zedong was the deadliest leader in the 20th century history. Whether it was political dissenters that were intentionally sentenced to death, or the millions of Chinese that were intentionally starved to death by Mao's government policies, Mao was responsible for over 40 million lives lost. From 1958 to 1961, Mao attempted to organize the steel industry and agriculture into communes in an attempt to create a strong, economically equal society. These policies, although inefficient, were all abandoned despite the growing number of Chinese that were living in poverty and starving. The blood on Mao Zedong's hand was double that of Hitler and Stalin combined, making Mao the 20th century's deadliest leader. Okay, so my paragraph is an example of good nonfiction writing. It has a topic sentence. It has a supporting fact, number one, specific evidence, which many of you are missing in your paragraphs. You don't use specific evidence. You need to cite specific evidence, okay, to prove your point. Then it has supporting fact, number two. And then it has what we call a concluding sentence, all right? So your job for this DICE assignment is super easy. Your job is to highlight the topic sentence. Which one is the topic sentence? Which one is supporting fact number one? Which one is supporting fact number two? And which one is the concluding sentence? That's it. Now, for some of you, it may be difficult to find where you do the highlighting. You could also just cut and paste which one is the topic sentence, which one is the supporting fact number one, and which ones are the supporting fact number two, and the concluding sentence. But if you see my board here, if you're working on sheets here, you're going to go right here. This is the icon. I've put it right in here. You go right here to highlight. So it's really simple. If I want to highlight using the highlighting tool, okay, I highlight the part that I want to highlight. Then I go right here and I pick the color I want to highlight. I gave you some suggested colors here, like the topic sentence should be yellow. The supporting fact number one should be green. Supporting fact number two should be ice blue there. And concluding sentence should be this pink. You can change those if you want, if you don't like those colors, but just still be able to make sure I can read that. So let's say I want to highlight this light, like plumish color. I hit that, and there it is. It's highlighted. If you make a mistake and you don't want that highlighted, you can go back here and you can go to highlight none, and there you go. Okay, so that's your second DICE assignment. Your notes are your first. This is your second, is to highlight my sentences with which one is the topic sentence, which one is evidence piece number one, evidence piece number two, and the concluding sentence. All right, guys, that is it for today. We will be getting a little bit more intricate on Wednesday and learning about Stalin. Have a wonderful day, guys. I'm leaving you with some of the Killers, When You Were Young, one of my favorite bands.